The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the Wednesday, September 19th edition of the opening bell on the Trader's Edge. Folks, I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that will help you to lead an inspired life, because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. So let's go take a look at one of our tools. This is the tool. I talked about this last night as I was just grateful and fortunate enough to be able to do Tom's 5 to 6 o'clock show. That's the constant search for knowledge, which applies, I'm sure, to each of us out there. Now, when you talk about the constant search of knowledge, folks, it really is three primary. It's about being consistent. It's about being disciplined. It's about being purposeful. That's what the constant search for knowledge is. Now, when we talk about the constant search for knowledge, if you haven't had a chance yet to go to the homepage at TFNN.com to download my new special report out there, it's called Candlesticks, Silent Signals, the Speed of Trust. You'll see it under Breaking News, second line item down under Breaking News. I absolutely am going to teach you something there that really was in front of your face if you actually use candlesticks. So for those that are experienced users in candlesticks, I'm going to show you something that was always in front of you that maybe you never really looked at. And that's what really life is all about. That's what, when we take a look at trading these markets, the difference between bulls and bears, right? You've got two people looking at a chart, seeing two different things out there. That's really the beauty of it. Go download that report, because there's a couple of actually cool things that are inside there, if I don't say so myself. Now, I've done a number of special reports for you folks out here for TFNN. This one, I think, may be the best, and I thought the other ones were pretty pretty good. How about if we start there? But that constant, search for knowledge, the consistent, disciplined, purposeful search, it's where life-changing ideas are formed, folks. And that's why you have a constant search for more knowledge. That's why I do. You want to pursue that with high expectations. Always have high expectations, because that's where you're going to find extraordinary results. And you want to make sure that you spend money, time, and effort. It's really money, time, and effort that is the motivator that is going to get you to that piece of information that it is that you're looking for out there, and that's really where you're truly making an investment in yourself. There's this rhetoric that goes on across our society, and with regard to whether you should help yourself or help others. To me, at least, that's what I form it down to. And the reality, folks, is if you want to help others in your life, if you really are the type of person that wants to help others, what you will do is you will help yourself first. And I can find all kinds of examples out there, and you might think that sounds a little bit self-centered or what have you. The reality is, the best thing that you could do for the folks that are in your life, or the folks that you want to attract in your life, is to make a better you out there. Well, part of that better you is that constant search for knowledge. So when you take a look at those, three forces, yesterday I was asking the question with regard to money out there. How much money, do you spend each day on things like Starbucks or sodas or candies or snacks or cigarettes or a beer or whatever it might be? The reality is there's money that's out there that you could easily direct towards your constant search of knowledge. What I mean by that is having a little bucket off to the side. Maybe throw $5 in it every day. Maybe $5, $5 every day. You throw $5 in there every day, you'll watch that add up, and then what that's going to allow you to do, that's going to allow you to maybe purchase books, maybe attend seminars, workshops, webinars, whatever it is. But there's always going to be that little morsel. You're going to hear maybe a few minutes, a few sentences, a few charts, something that's always been in front of you. That's why I put together the Candlestick, Silent Signals, Speed of Trust. The speed of trust, folks, is that when you're looking for that constant search for knowledge out there, you're going to come across something that's going to give you that speed of trust. And there's nothing that works faster in life than having the speed of trust. You're going to need it when it comes to investing in the markets. You're going to need it in making decisions in your life. So money is replaceable. However, that next thing, which is time, you cannot replace time. But knowledge takes time, right? Take a look at anything that you've ever done in life, all of the learning, whether it's learning some of the technical tools. I talk about A to B equals CD. We're going to look at those today. We're going to look at Fibonacci retracements. We're going to look at anything that you'd like. All you have to do is give us a call at 877-927-6648. But life has a unique way, folks, of rewarding high investment with high return. So invest more in yourself. If you invest more in yourself, you're going to get what? You're absolutely going to get more results out there. That's why you always want to be able to make sure that you are taking, just simply major action out there. And then you say you've got money, you've got time, and then you've got effort. And, there's a huge difference between casual learning and seriously learning, folks. And effort is the investment that will open up those floodgates of ideas that can work their magic into your mind, into your marketplace. So don't hesitate to spend money. Don't hesitate to spend the time and the effort required to reach your goals, folks. Why? Because those are the investments that will absolutely turn on your lights one of these days. And each of you have had these experiences before where all of a sudden the light bulb went on. That's one of the reasons we've got light bulbs inside our Tiger's Den out here, because every now and then a light bulb goes on. And I certainly hope that I can contribute to that. I know that if you go download this report here and you read through it, there's going to be a light bulb that's going to go off. You're going to take a look at something. You might have to read it a few times. You might have to look at a couple of those images a few times. But I start off with an image that most folks have seen. Most folks will look at it and all they see is one thing. Yet there's clearly two distinct pictures in there. That's why I like to be able to use candlesticks, because they're also leading indicators. When you put that with other what I'll call, Western indicators out there, it is really puts together the entire package. Again, our call number, 877-927-6648. As we go take a look around the markets here, you've got the Europe is up right now. You've got Asia was up last night. Looks like we may have seen the end of the retracement, or very close to the end of the retracement. Not really much of a retracement out there. I didn't expect there to be anything very deep. Just expected the overbought conditions to be worked off. The market is either there or very, very close to doing that. We're taking a look here at the futures. Right now, you've got the Dow futures trading out at 13,523. That's up 24 points. The ES Mini, that's the S&P futures. That's trading up 2.5 points. 1455 right now. NASDAQ up 4.5 points. Russell 2000 up 1 point. If we take a look at, just simply, let's start off around the world. Let's see what, now we left off last night what you'll call maybe some uncertainty, because we had a flat market, right? You had the Dow up 11 points. Everything else was, down a point or maybe 2 points or less. So a really flat market out there. A couple days of flat trading. That's actually what you really like to see in order to be able to work off an overbought condition out there. So if we start off, let's go take a look at, I think it's the DAX that's going to pop up on my screen. It's up 15 points right now. It has traded as low as the 73.26 level, as high as 73.96. You're at 73.60 here right now. I expect what we'll see at the end of the trading session, we'll see the DAX close back inside the September 17th lows. Those are 73.82. You're at 73.63 right now. If we go take a look at the Shanghai, because that was the one that was, okay, what are you doing out here? And what I mean by that, folks, is, if you just take a look at the daily chart, that's what I've got up on my screen here right now. Beautiful. 1.2 or 1.272 butterfly pattern that was out there. So a really nice butterfly pattern, but that was just on the daily. If I pull up the weekly here, hopefully I don't lose this as I switch over, but let's put the weekly chart up here on the screen. What you can see is, on the weekly chart, if you go all the way back to August of 09, so August 7, 2009, the high there is 36.51. Your B point is the Shanghai moving all the way down into the lows of July 2010, out at a price point of 24.31. Then it looks like a 0.618 retracement. Let's just simply go measure that here. We're going to go from our A point to our B point. So the B to C retracement there actually gets above the 0.618, gets almost up to that 0.786 level. Then makes the C to D leg. Now it takes a long time. You can see that price moving down on that C to D leg, which maybe should have completed, if it had the same level of energy in the October-ish range of 2011. Well, it didn't complete then. What it did was it completed here last week, or 2 weeks ago, the week of September 7th, as it gets down to a low 21.2487. So you've got an A to B equals CD completing. What it did on a weekly basis gave you a nice bullish engulfing candle there after completing that pattern. That's really what it is that you want to see. Now, it did move higher the next week, but actually, if you take a look at the special report that I did and you go ahead and combine this, you still really have a bullish engulfing candle out there. This week it is moving down. That's why we dig down into the daily chart. And what it did 2 days ago was it came back into the breakout area. This thing broke up broke up. This thing broke out, I should say, with conviction behind the move, doing that on September 7th. The actual area where it broke out from was September the 6th. Now, the high there, 2149.94. You still have not gotten down to that area. 2 trading sessions ago, you got down to 2150. Last night, you got down to 2152. If our markets close higher here today, what we should see is that will be the handoff to the Shanghai to also move higher. You still got a little bit of that gap that is out there, preferably, because I've got my bullhorns on, folks. Preferably, I'd like to see it actually move down, close that gap, and then start moving higher out there. But right now, you do have the Shanghai moving back into a breakout area. Volume is starting to lighten up a bit out there. That's certainly what you want to see when you're moving down into a breakout area. 877-927-6648. Stocks on the move this morning. You got Echelon Pharmaceuticals, ACHN. Closed at 810 to trade out at 915. AutoZone leading the charge on the way down. Closed at 357, trading at 354. We'll be right back, folks.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on TigerTV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. And while you were sleeping, the Bank of Japan, they said, we got to get in on this money game. They're out there buying bonds as well. And if we take a look at the Nikkei was up 108 points. That was a little over 1% last night. The Hang Seng up also a little over 1%. We're taking a look at the Nikkei right now, and that is making an A to B equals CD up. I don't have the volume on this, but it did get past the B point out here of an A to B equals CD up. That's the August 20th swing point. That high, 92.22.87. The Nikkei closing out last night, 92.32.21. It's on its way up to 95.40, up into the 95.40, 97.84 is where I suspect it really is headed. Now, when it gets up to 95.40, it will go ahead and it will make a, let's take a look at, it'll make a Gartley sell pattern, but I suspect what it really wants to do is get all the way up to the area where it really started to break down. That is this wide-ranging bar on the way down on April the 4th out there. The low is 98.19, so that is the range that you're looking at in the Nikkei out there. If we take a look at, let's go and take a look at light sweet crude out here, because that is trading off $1.55 this morning, and it is starting to break outside the sideways consolidation box out here. Now, it's been in this little box range or sideways consolidation range. Really, it's been in two of those, but the current one that it's in, I would say, started right around August the 21st. The low of that range is the August 30th low at 93.95. You're trading at 93.74 right now. We'll see where this thing ends up. If it does break outside this box, it's got to, I would say it'll trade down to the 94 minus 5, 89 level out there, which it could do, in a quick heartbeat. And if we take a look at just simply retracement levels coming off of the low all the way up to the high out there, let me actually get rid of a couple things out here. It'll be a little bit easier for you to follow along. So let's get rid of all of these fib lines and we'll redraw them. So if we just simply take a look at the low that was established on June 28th, that was when light sweet crude was out at $77.28. Moves all the way up into the high September 14th at $100.42. So a normal pullback, $91, $91.58 would be just nothing more than a dead cat bounce of 0.382 retracement out there. I'm saying if you break the box, you get down to about 89. So 89 and 91 is where light sweet crude would be headed if it goes ahead and breaks outside of this sideways trading range. If we take a look at what else is moving out here in the marketplace, commodity-wise, you've got King Dollar back 2 pennies. No big deal there. Gold up $3 and change out at $17.74. Silver down about 4 cents right now out at $34.68. What else do we have out here? We covered the markets around the world. So let's go take a look at the, let's go take a look at the commodities. Let's look at silver first. Silver here yesterday, having quite some wide price spread, for a light volume day out in the marketplace. Moved from a low of 34.01 up to 35.10. Now, what silver is doing, it is just not backing off. It has had, if you take a look at the retracements here, let's just simply get rid of some of these lines. We'll clean up the chart here. Makes it a little bit easier if you are watching us on Tiger TV. You can follow along if you're listening on the radio or maybe your mobile device at tfnn.mobi. You can catch the archive of this show on Channel 9. So if we take a look at the only retracement that gold has had Well, it's had 2 since it has moved up and gotten through this downtrending line here. That downtrending line, folks, I'm talking about going all the way back to those April 26 highs when you had, let's say, gold, silver out at 49.82. That's your first touch point. Your next touch point is that February 29th high out at 37.58. So it breaks a long-term trend. In fact, I'll do this for you. Let's go ahead and put some lagging indicators up here on the screen. Let's put those moving averages. And we're going to put the moving averages. Let me put the right one up here that I want you to take a look at. So let's go change this here. Let's put this on the 50 and 100 day, 50, 200 day moving averages out here. Why? Okay. There we go. So the blue line that you're going to take a look at is the 50-day moving average. Let me change the colors. It's going to be even better for you. We'll change that to red and black. So let's change that red, black here to red. Maybe that's a little bit easier for you to follow along. And what you can see is silver moved had the death cross right back in November 2011. That's where the 50-day crossed through to the downside. What do we have going on here today as we speak, this very moment? You've got the 50-day at 30.68, the 200-day at 30.65. You're getting ready for a cross through to the upside. That puts silver in a long-term bullish mode. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals. time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
To the races. We got the Dow up 20. S&P's flat. Struggling to get out of the gate. Up 95 cents. Composite down $2. Russell 2000 also hanging out with the S&P, only up 40 cents right now. Microsoft down 5 pennies. Intel up 3. Google off a buck. You got Apple trading out at 700.71, folks. A little rocket ship. Who knows where that is going to end. Let's see what we have popping and dropping. NetEase up 7%. This morning that's up $3 and change out of 53.40. You got Nike Schmikey there up 2.5%, up $2.40. Monsanto MON up 2%. Ashland Pharmaceuticals, that was the leader in the clubhouse in the pre-market. They're up 15% here this morning. We'll take a look at that equity. You got Deckers Outdoor down 10% this morning. They were struggling, I believe, yesterday. AutoZone down $3 and change. KLA 10-core Clack off $2. So we've got Questcor Pharmaceuticals, Qcor down 1.8%. Let's go all the way up to New England. Or no, I don't know where we're going. Are we going to Maine? I think we're going to Maine. John?
Steve.
How are you? I'm sorry, where are you from?
Well, I'm actually in, where Bar Harbor, Mount Desert Island, Maine right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How's do you live up there? You're just visiting or vacationing?
No, just visiting, and today we got fog and rain, but it's a beautiful place.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, terrific. Well, thanks for calling and thanks for listening. I appreciate it.
Question for you is, through Tom, one time we had a lot of luck with Mr. McEwen.
Yes.
So I was looking at MUX.
Yes. And, folks, that it used to be U.S. Gold Corp, changed its name to McEwen Mining. Are you in it, looking to get in it? Tell me how I can help you.
Looking to get in.
Okay. So if we take a look at this equity here right now, trading at $4.78. It's well off of its lows, which was $1.96 back in May of May 20. Let's see here, made the low May 23rd, 2012. And this thing, if we take a look at what I'm going to first do, is this thing seems to be wanting to move up towards its highs out here. The highs would be in the $6.17 range, maybe a low of $5.69. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to take a look at the weekly chart with you, John. And on the weekly chart, what's cool about this equity, as you can see that this has broken through a resistance area. Just simply broke the trend line coming off of the highs that go back to May in April 2011. April 8th, the week of April 8th, it makes a high at 987. And you can see it broke through that trend line here not that long ago, back in August 24th, 2012. So it's running into a high volume bar up here. That low is 492. You're at 472. Let's see, last week it didn't get up all the way in there. It got up to a high of 485. So what you want to do is you want to see how it reacts to this area here. There may be a little bit of selling. That might be a spot, a little bit of a supply line where some folks would start to take some profits. And then it's a matter of trying to identify where this equity might pull back to. Now, on the other hand, if it does close inside that bar, and that's got 29 million shares, so there's no way that it's got the volume as it's moving up into that area. But if it does close inside that bar, inside 492, this may make the run to the $6 and change area before it starts to pull back. So you're going to want to watch. You're going to want to watch right now. You want to watch this 492 level, and you want to buy a retracement. As far as retracements are concerned on this here, let me go back to the daily chart for you. And maybe this is something that you would want to just start scaling into. So if we just take a look at, let's assume that it pulls back a little bit. I'll go up to about the 490 level. The first area where this would perhaps retrace back to is really the swing point from August 30th. That happens to also be a 0.382 retracement, dead cat bounce. So I would say you would start looking at around the 387 to 363 range. If the equity pulls back in there on less than 1.2 million shares, and I would start to fire away. I wouldn't take my whole position at that stage. I would take, let's say maybe half of your position, and then if it starts moving in your direction, add to it. Let it prove to yourself that all it wants to do is a 0.382 retracement, because it could easily pull back to the high volume bar, just the 618 level, which would get you back to $3.12. So that's how I would go ahead and manage this trade with the information that I've got here, right now. I hope that helps you.
You're great. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks for calling, and have a great time while you are up in Maine.
Thank you.
You bet. So let's see. We've got the markets again. What do we got? This little flat thing going here. Markets down just a bit. Let's go take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping. Let's start off with Ashland Pharmaceuticals. That's the one that is up the biggest. ACHN is the ticker symbol. ACHN up a nice 17% this morning, gapping up, doing it with volume. Let me put it back up on the screen here. Ashland, okay. Give me a moment here, folks. I didn't mean to close that window out. Just fat fingers, as they say. So if we take a look at Ashland, it's moving into an area where it gapped down recently. This thing here is in really a consolidation. I say that because you can see this equity here gapped up nicely. If you go back into the January 9 time frame, it gaps up with 6 million shares. If you take a look at the prior session, did 560,000 shares. So that's when it gaps up, makes a high out there of 1295, does it with 3.9 million shares. Must have gotten some bad news, some little profit taking here back in April 2012 when it gaps down with 6.3 million shares. So you go up with 6 million shares, you go down with 6 million shares. Now it's quite a trading range that this thing has set up, because the low of the trading range here is back really, I would say, the August 9th, 2012, August 10th, 2012, $5.42. So this would be a really nice equity to put on your list if it actually pulled back one more time into this consolidation area, into that $5, $6 range, because what it would set up is moving into the $10 range. So in fact, I'll go ahead and mark that on my pad. Maybe you won't. ACHN. Of course, that's on the daily chart for Ashland Pharmaceuticals. It is running into the last time where it broke down. The high there was 951, only 1 million shares. But so far today, this thing has done 1.7 million shares, and the market is just been open for 11 minutes. Let's take a look at this equity here on a longer term. So let's drill back up into it. Okay, and let me just refresh the screen here. And so you can see now, this thing really does have, this thing wants to run. So this is kind of interesting. So if you take a look at the weekly chart, it's got a high volume high out there. And that is January 13, 2012. That high volume high, $12.95. And you're trading inside that swing point. Not with volume, but you're trading inside that swing point right now. And if that area is not rejected, that's where it will want to run to. Forget about it pulling back to $5 and change out here. Now let's go see if the monthly also has a high volume high out here. Oof. Okay, that doesn't look really good, does it? Okay, now there's a downdraft, isn't it? No volume on this thing, but goes back to February 28, 2007. This thing goes from $20 down to $7.62. I would say at that stage, folks, they missed their mark. So no wonder that as this thing gets up into the $12 range, what have you, you've got folks that are just looking to be able to get some of their money back that go all the way back to 2007. Now, not a lot of volume out there, really, so those folks should be kind of out of the equity, 2 million shares back there. So we'll just kind of put that off to the side. But so therefore, if we kind of put that off to the side from a volume standpoint, on a monthly basis, this also has a high volume monthly bar. That is January 2012, same high, 12.95, and it is trading inside that bar this month. Looks like that's where Ashland Pharmaceuticals wants to run to. Cracker Barrel. You love that country ham, and that's I enjoy going to Cracker Barrel. But after I eat, I always seem to leave hungry. I don't know what that is. Now, I don't really like too much that they have. There's not a whole lot of healthy food. In fact, I used to go to Cracker Barrel. I'd order one of their salads, and I would bring all the fixins with me because their salads are pretty lame. Just nothing but iceberg lettuce out there. And in any event, Cracker Barrel's on the move, so let's go take a look at it. They do have a pretty good candy shop, though, don't they? They got all that great candy from when we were kids, CBRL, and they've got all those great grape knee-highs and orange sodas and the whole kit and caboodle out there. Got Cracker Barrel moving up today here. Looks like it is breaking out with volume. Let's go see if what's the news is behind Cracker Barrel here. Did they release any kind of earnings here? Let's see. They did the total revenue 2.58 billion versus 2.4 billion. So you got people on the road needed Cracker Barrel. Let's see here. What did they do income-wise? Net income 103 million versus 85. Well, that's a pretty nice bottom line. Must be a lot of folks buying some of those snacks inside their gift shop. So this thing here, let's take a look at this. This looks like it may be at all-time highs out here. A lot of stocks, folks, were at their 52-week highs last week on Thursday. I mean a lot of stocks at their 52-week highs, and markets don't end there. They just simply don't end when you have when you have so many stocks like that at their 52-week highs. It's another reason why I have my bullhorns out and all shined up, and they're on. I'm wearing them. So this thing is at 68.04 right now. Let's take a look at this thing could be setting up a really large A to B equals CD. Let's put the monthly chart on here, and let's see if it was able to cross a B point with volume. So if we take a look at this equity here, gosh darn it, let me make sure I got the proper volumes out here. Okay, so the A point on this is going to come all, oh, look at that hammer candle. Oh, baby, oh, baby. Folks, go get the candlesticks, silent signals, the speed of trust out here. Cracker Barrel on a monthly chart making a beautiful hammer candle. In fact, here, I could have used this as an example inside that report here. This goes all the way back into the November 30th, 2008 time frame. Actually, this is a beautiful chart here because it also made a hammer candle that ended up failing. That was on January 31st, 2008. It worked for a few months, moved sideways. You ended up with a close below that area. Looks like that took place right here. Let's see, the actual low on that. So let's check the monthly out, is $24 even, Steven. The July 31st, 2008 closed at $24.17, but man, it got down and it tested that area, did it with volume. I would have been out of that equity. The thing with a hammer candle, folks, is when you break or close below the low of the hammer session, if you're long, you're wrong. It's really that simple. Now, in this case here, in July 2008, it closed just above it, but he had high volume there, said that area was going to be tested. The low of that candle, 1893, of course, and that volume there was 24 million shares. Now, when it first gets tested, it does it with 16 million shares. Does that the month of October 2008, but no bullish candle whatsoever. However, the month of November 2008 tests that level with lighter volume. So now it tests the session from July 31st, 2008, tests the session from October 31st, 2008, and does what? Gives you a bullish engulfing candle. Those lows haven't been seen since. And if we take a look at the A to B equals C, that could be setting up on Cracker Barrel. That your A point is going to be the candle, the hammer, the low of the hammer, so $10.67. Your B point on this equity is November 10th. November 30th, 2010. Now, let's just take a look at the retracement here. You're going to see that is a 0.382 retracement, or just a 0.382. So the 0.382 retracement, 39.79, actually gets to a little bit lower low, 37.31. And if you take a look at the move on the monthly chart here, this thing is moving on the strong side of the C to D leg. Now let's take a look at volume. Let's see if this thing has a confirmed A to B equals CD. How we're going to do that, folks, we're going to take a look at the B point. That B point out here is the November 30th, 2010 level, 5.8 million shares. Just simply going to put the volume bar along the bottom of my screen as well to make it easier for us to take a look at. It hits that area first and rejects it with 5.8 million shares. The 5.8 going against 5.8. It does that on the February 29, 2012 level. Gets through there on 5.99 million shares. 599 taking out 5883. It is a confirmed A to B equals CD up on the monthly chart. The 1-to-1 takes you to $84.44. 97.26 is on the longer term horizon for Cracker Barrel out there. Ooh, gotta get some of that country ham. Let's go take a look at Deckers Outdoor. Deckers Outdoor struggling here off 8% here this morning. DECK is the ticker symbol. Let's see, did we look at that last night out here? I don't see it, so let's go ahead and put it up on the screen. That is, as I say, trading down $3 and change. DECK is the ticker symbol. That thing trying to break out and bust out another swing point to the downside. Pretty unfortunate here. Here's an equity, folks, that was trading as high as 120. Let's see here. The 118.90, October 31st, 2011, was a high flyer. Now this thing is a crash and burn victim. This thing has taken out another swing point. The swing point that we're looking at here, well, you'd go take a look at this hammer. This is July 26, 2012, 39.90. That's what it wants to take out. You're at $40.17 right now. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. We got a flattish market out here right now. Dow's off 5, S&P's down 1, Composite off a couple points, New York Stock Exchange off 8 points out there. So far, a quiet morning. Let's go to Paramus, New Jersey, to our man John. John, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Good. I'm going to be looking for two. POM is one, and the next one's PEG.
PEG.
These are both utility stock. PEG and POM.
PEG like from Steely Dan. I like
what
it.
do you think of John Corzine being able to start a hedge fund? Shouldn't Bernie Madoff be allowed to start one too again?
You know, I don't think they let you start hedge funds from prison out there.
Yeah, but what's the difference between John Corzine and Bernie Madoff?
Yeah, you know, not really a conversation for me. But we can take a look at POM for you. Are you in it, looking to buy it? What do you tell me what you're doing?
I'm looking at that one and another one. Like PEG just hit the 50-day moving average, and
okay.
I think it's ready to break. I don't know, is it based on the dollar going up or the price of.
Well, if we just take a look from a technical standpoint on POM, P-O-M, folks, that is the ticker symbol for Pepco Holdings. And if we take a look at it right now, trade out at 1880. And the daily chart here, not giving me as much information as the weekly and the monthly chart. So that's what we're going to switch over to. If we take a look at the weekly chart, what you can see here is that it's really moving down towards the swing point of April 13, 2012, 9.7 million shares out there. The high of that is 1866. You're at 1879, and the low so far has been 1875 this week. I would let that area get hit. So far, you've done 4 million shares, but only a couple of days worth of trading, which is coming in at 9.7. So wait to see what this does here this week. If you test that, I'm sorry?
You got quarterly expirations this week too. That might have something to do with it, or no?
I don't know. If it will or it won't. I would just the weekly chart says, hey, just wait until that area gets hit. The monthly chart actually says to wait a little bit longer. And if we switch over to the monthly chart, what you will see is if you go back to if you just simply go back to the most recent swing point, which was April 30th, 2012, that high was 1898. You're trading inside it right now. The low is 1814. That says, hey, wait until you get to the 1814 level before you pull any trigger. So right now it's kind of inside some swing points, and you need to wait for the market to tell you what it wants to do. I'm not getting a good enough read here other than to say sit back and wait and see what it wants to do. We can go take a look at PEG as well. We'll put that up on the screen here. PEG is the ticker symbol, and as we take a look at PEG, that's trading out at 31.45. Give me a moment here to. That is a Public Service Enterprise Group, And so this thing here, I imagine that these are acting the same way. So this is already inside the swing point, John, from June 26, 3.3 million shares. You came into it yesterday with 1.7, so this is not bad. This is testing that area with lighter volume. You got to let it, because it's inside that swing point. Let this thing get down to 31.06. Let it do that on less than 3.3 million shares, and then maybe you could go ahead and pull the trigger on this. Your problem here is this thing has got this high volume swing point low that has not been tested, and that is your May 25th, 2012. That's really what you need to be focused on. 3090. 3090 is the number there.
Okay,
that's where.
There?
I'm sorry.
Let it get into there.
Yeah, I think you'll need to at this stage. I mean, that's where
the lows. You test the lows of 28.94.
You got to watch
3 bars there in a row.
You got to watch the entire candle for May 25th, 2012. That low is 30.40. The high is 30.90. Thanks for calling, John. Have a great morning, folks. Stay tuned. Tom and I will be up next for the Money Masters. Thanks so much for being here. If you're off to start your day, I'll look forward to seeing you in the morning. If not, see you in just a few. Take care, folks.